Hello. Welcome. I started early. That's what she said? I don't know. But we haven't done one of these in a while, and I figure while people are showing up, we could do some mail. We got 2 whole pieces of physical mail. Also, Luna got some mail, but it was a doggy toy, so appreciate that. But she's busy right now. Also, it is funny, when you pick up something at a P.O. box that's not addressed to you, you have to sign as the registered or the agent for the dog. So I had to sign for her. So this first one comes from, what's a card? From Eric. It says, "Hi Mover, great to continue to see you in YouTube again with Gonky, and you discussed Top Gun 2. In a holiday Wednesday, I visited the Peak and find this old Thai fisherman house, Thai-O, not Thai like Thailand, but T-A-I and then O. Fisherman house by a shore location. To see that they are still around was great. Bad to see the Queen Elizabeth II left us, and a lot of her visit in Hong Kong. Wish you all the best, Eric." Awesome. It's so cool. I mean, from Hong Kong all the way over there. So thanks, Eric, for that. And this next one, I don't know who it comes from, so if it's Anthrax, R.I.P. me. Let's see what the comments are saying. Am I live? Hey, live. Hey from the Netherlands. Hello, guys. Okay. Here we go. Dear Muva. Says it like that. I didn't read it like that. "My dad flew C-130s out of Maxwell, retired from American 1 month before COVID hit. My grandfather was a Master Chief and an A&P in the Air Force in Korea. He literally saw the F-86 Sabre dance happen. Neil Anderson was based at my home airport and was the first test pilot ever for the F-16. My max G load is +6, -3 as a civilian. Gonky's call sign sounds like a prawn star name." He actually crossed it out. He has porn there. "Is hovering the hardest thing you do in a helo?" I think auto rotations. That was the toughest for me. Making a spot. Like, the auto rotation's not tough, but just making a spot was always tough. "Did you go from Navy to Air Force?" I went from Air Force Reserve to Navy Reserve back to Air Force Reserve. "Were you on the 737 before your leave of absence?" Yes. "What was your rank when you separated?" I still haven't separated, but I'm an 04. "Blue skies. I'll send some Air Force and F-16 stickers later." Like, there's no... It's literally... So whoever wrote this, thank you. But there's no return, and there's no... It's from Texas. I know that much. But there's no... Like, this is just an anonymous letter. And that's all I got for the letters. I've got some emails and stuff, but we've already got some questions in the comments. Ivan says, "Would like to ask if you are still an active fighter pilot." Yes. Well, yes, I'm an 11F. I'm not flying right now, but that doesn't mean it's over yet. "How long have you done it?" I commissioned in 2006. 16 years. "And how many years does it take to become one?" It takes 2 years from the day. So I started officer training school in January of 2006. I graduated pilot training in June of 2007. I showed up at my first squadron in August or September of 2008. So a little over 2 years. And that includes all the training, because you got to go to pilot training. You've got to go to IFF if you're going to fighters. You got to go to the B course, which is the basic course. Water survival, land survival, centrifuge, and then all the time in between all those things. So, Mover, in your opinion, do you think ex-military pilots make better airline pilots than those trained? I mean, no. I think, you know, you're well-rounded. You have good training if you're a military pilot, but, I mean, somebody who's trained as a civilian airline pilot going to a major has already that experience. They've already been doing that, so I don't think it's necessarily any better. Anyway. Well, I'm not a Raptor guy, so I'll try. "During air shows, when Raptor pilots are showing off its maneuverability, do the pilots push the aircraft airframe close to its extremes?" No. They don't. It's all air show stuff. Hey, Mover, any initial thoughts on the incident in Dallas? Very tragic loss of life. Sorry for their families and their friends, but that's it. That's all I'm going to say on that. I say this every time something happens. I don't speculate. I don't make videos about stuff that just happened. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna happen. That's not my thing. There are other channels that want to do it. That's fine, but that's not my thing. Actually, Mike, I might in the future, as it, becomes the investigation is complete and the NTSB releases their report. I mean, it's on video, so I don't know how long it's going to take. I mean, obviously it's not a quick process, but let them do their thing. There's no rush. I'm not chasing anything. I don't need to be first. So, if you could fly any foreign fighter jet to the U.S. inventory, the Grippen's pretty cool. To fly it or to add. I think the Eurofighter, the Gripen, any of those, especially if you could buy a bunch, I think that would be really cool. If you could fly a spaceship, which would it be? The Rocinante. Did I say that right? What's up, Mover? My dealership called me this morning saying they received 2 Z06 allocations today. I'm super excited since I'm number 1. Well, congratulations. I've seen Speed Phenom has obviously been posting a lot. He was the first one to get one. What is going on? Are you guys seeing the flickering thing too? Is it me? There we go. I don't know why I was doing it. Nope, it's back. Very weird. I don't know if it's the camera or if it's just things. It's bothering me. If I turn this off? The lighting thing? I don't know. If you guys aren't seeing it, then I'm obviously just seeing things. I don't know. I don't know if it's over. I don't know. I would say it's anything could happen at this point. Anyway, back to your questions. Oh, so this weekend, there probably will be a couple lives this weekend. I got my old camera right here. So tomorrow, reminder, is the start of Champ Car Weekend, Champ Car Endurance Series. I will be racing with Battle Scarred Motorsports. You'll get to see what I'm racing probably tomorrow when we do practice. I'm going to try to live stream, if nothing else, the paddock area. I don't know if we're high speed enough to do the actual practice or in-car stuff, but we'll try. We'll see what happens. Oh, this thing has just come apart altogether. But we'll try. We'll see what happens. If you guys want to watch it, it'll be live. I know most of you are here for aviation stuff, which I will always remind you that this is a channel that says CW Lemoyne, not aviation. So it's all about me. All right, what's the deal with your military and civilian flying career? I'm on a leave of absence from the airline. Like I've said that a million times. That's a finite amount of time. Military is up in the air. I don't know. I'm in the make them tell you no phase of my career. So I don't know. My position, I was flying T-38s up until January, and my position was defunded. And then some other stuff happened, which wasn't so good, and it made it even more of an uphill battle. So, yeah, might start a new career. We'll see. Would an L Corps make a good fighter pilot? What is an L Corps? Sure. What did I fly? F-16, F-18, T-38A as adversary air. Would you be able to do the AIB? So I could, but I'm not. And the reason not for that was because it involved a friend of mine, and I've chosen not to talk about that one, just because it hit kind of close to home for a really good friend of mine, and I don't want to do that one. How do you become a demo pilot? It's an active duty assignment. You'd have to go to Range Channel. and ask. But I mean, it's the dudes at Shaw. It's just a thing at Shaw. I couldn't apply because I was a reservist. So, and my squadron didn't do it. I mean, the Makos never did F-16 demos. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, so that's probably why. Nah, it's a brand new monitor. It's not. It just looked like the flag is flickering. Like, I don't know if it could be just a StreamYard thing. Margot Robbie. Justin Bronk made a compelling case about the Gripen to be used in Ukraine. Yeah, I actually think that's a good point, and I've said that before. You know, use the money, use some of the funds going to buy that. They don't need F-16s. Helicopter content. I thought last week was the week that thing was going to be ready, and of course, in typical Lester fashion, it was delayed. I don't know what else to say. It's delayed. So, I mean, you know, it was supposed to be August, then September, then October, then November, then last Friday, then Sunday, then Monday. So who knows? It won't make it before the race. I was actually hoping to go fly to the racetrack today, but that ain't gonna happen. Fast planes, fast cars, man. You know, I mean, when I was a kid, I said this on the other video that nobody watched. I had like all these goals, right? I wanted to be a cop. You know, when I watched In the Line of Duty, I wanted to be a Secret Service agent. Then I wanted to be a Ghostbuster first, airline pilot. I wanted to be a fighter pilot at some point. I wanted to be a race car driver. I had this big thing. I was in my high school class. I was voted most likely to be famous because everybody thought I was going to go be a NASCAR driver. That never happened. But yeah, I just have all these things, these interests, these things that I like, and you know, maybe it's not too late. You know, maybe some of the things can happen. Who knows? I will make them tell me no. Funny you say that. You know, if I could get sponsorships, I think that's actually not NASCAR, but not Daytona 500, but probably the ARCA series is realistic. We'll see. That would require a lot of support from this channel. And last time I tried something for the support of the channel, it didn't happen. Remember Fights On? Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Do you like pineapple on pizza? No, you commie. Solely considering training stories, do you enjoy flying as red or blue? Red, man. I enjoy red. Red it's fun. It's the fun part without all the work. Although there is something to be said where you're successful and you execute and you go out and like DCA, defensive counter air. If you go out and successfully defend the target, I don't think there's a greater feeling in a jet than doing that. You know, ACM where you work together as pairs to defeat a bandit, that's a lot of fun too. But as far as fun, yeah. Sheriff Department's doing the Sheriff Department thing, still going strong. Oof. I should have known that. I should have known that. It's been a minute since I played. I'm sorry. I guess I am a fake fan. Although Mass Effect 4 is coming out soon. I've never flown an Extra. I have flown a Giles, which is similar. When am I coming out to the West Coast? Hopefully not. I don't know. That wasn't a bad trip. That was fun. Commercial air travel has not been a fun thing lately. But, wow, you guys are asking a bunch of questions today. We haven't done one of these in a while. If you could fly anything from the Vietnam Gulf War era, what would it have been? Oh, man. You know, the F4. I mean, that's a cool jet. You know, it's cool, loud. Doesn't turn very well, but, yeah. What was harder to fight in BFM? Physically, the Viper. The Viper, like, tactically, you could make more mistakes because you could power your way out of them. The Hornet was more difficult to be good, but it was easier to fly. So, you know, if you had the finesse, you could be better in the Hornet and not hurt yourself. Yep, so that's what I went out. I don't know if you saw the video. I went out last week for the helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I finally, that's what I've been working on all week, is to getting my system back up and running. I had a problem with the, let's go full nerd here, the AIO, the cooler on my CPU was not cooling, so the temps were spiking to like 90 and 100 and everything was throttling. So got that fixed, found another problem, got that fixed. Finally got Microsoft Flight Sim working and tried it. I still think, so I think they've done a good job, and you know, I do think the helicopters are better. I don't think it's 100% realistic, and I think one of the things that they messed up when they added was the thermals, because the thermals are great for the gliders. However, they do some wonky things with the helicopter. I was flying the 407 around the triangle in MSFS, and like it was just OGE hovering for no reason, like very weird. Like, so the physics I think need a little bit of tweaking, but it is better than it's been, and I think it's really good. And I think the game's made for helicopters. Like, I think that's the coolest part, is the scenery and stuff. So good. So yeah. Fast planes, fast cars. I don't know about fast women, but women, yes, good looking women. Yeah, I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle too. Absolutely. Or just hang out with them. I don't know if I wanted to be a turtle, but I wanted to hang out with them. Indy 500 over F1, Formula 1. Never too late to chase another dream. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm not a big enough YouTuber for stuff like that. Like, I don't know people. And that's actually, people who ask me to do stuff, and I'm like, I'm not popular, I'm not famous enough to know these people. What is this? Spaghetti with pineapple, meat, tomato, and cheese? What is... Favorite plane? Dark Star. Absolutely the Dark Star. I've never been to Scotland, but I'd love to go. Okay, here we go. Really want to be a Strike Eagle, my local base, Strike Eagle fan, but I was scared I won't do well. The Queen's English. Study, prepare. Don't get stuck on one. Don't get stuck on one airplane, man. Just do well. You know, if you want the Strike Eagle, you're gonna have to be active duty. So now it's needs of the Air Force, but focus on one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Do well in the AFOQT. Do well. Was it the TBAS now? Get the pilot slot, either ROTC or OTS. Now, once you get to pilot training, or once you get to OTS, if you do that, do well there. Once you get to pilot training, do well. Help your bros. You know, you got to take it one step at a time. Don't worry about far in front. Just get yourself to the next step. Mover, you should be streaming. I should, and I will. I just, in fact, this afternoon, now that I got my computer working again, I have downloaded all the 38 gigs of updates. Do you watch NASCAR regularly? No. Sometimes. I always watch the Daytona races. It's just typically I lose interest about midway through. I'm not a fan as much as I like the driving. Like, I like the competition. I like the racing. But to sit there and watch a full race, if I can catch the end, I'll watch the end. But I'm not a hardcore racing fan, because there hasn't been any drivers that I'm like super interested in following. Why are we asking these questions? Can we get you into an F-22? Probably not. That's probably not. That's not going to happen. I mean, I'd have to get hired by Langley or Elmo, or Hawaii would be the two. And yeah, sure. Are you offering? I'd go to the moon. I'd go to space. Absolutely. What feels more realistic in helicopters, DCS or MSFS? As of my current time in it, which is all of about an hour total in Microsoft Flight Sim and many hours in DCS, I think the most realistic is the Huey with some caveats, because the Huey's got some issues. It likes to, the nose kind of wobbles around, and then it's got super weird vortex ring state issues. But like general hovering in physics, I think DCS Huey is probably the best. Honestly, I don't know that it's too stable. Like, it felt unstable to me. Do you have all the nannies on? Is that why? Because those are on by default. Ooh, I don't know if I'm qualified to do Black Hawk Down. I mean, I'd have to call in a friend, phone a friend. I'd have to get Casmo or somebody in here. Come out to Cali, do a ride along. Yeah. You know, I just found Astria, the San Diego Sheriff's Office. They have the coolest air unit videos. I just discovered yesterday. You're not going back to the airline that you will start a new career? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything at all. Favorite Ninja Turtle was always Raphael, and Venkman was always for the Ghostbusters. Or Ray. Venkman or Ray. Ooh, that's a tough one. Least favorite book that I have written. Man. I don't know. You know, Spectre Rising was the first one, and I've learned a lot since then. But I don't know, because, you know, I'm proud of what I've done. Dick Trickle was Rookie of the Year in his 50s. I think he was 48. We'll have to fact check that one. So I'll be 40 in February. So if I ran the Daytona race, I'd be just turned 40. So, did you hear about the mover ski last week with the body count of 2,000? I don't know what that means. Come work at the SO where I work. $100,000 to stand on your head and hang out. Yeah, I'm doing that for free right now. Heck yeah. What's one piece of advice for aspiring fighter pilots? One step at a time. Make them tell you no. Those two things. Take it piece by piece. You know, get through what you need to get through as you need to do it. Don't get ahead of yourself, and at the end of the day, don't tell yourself no. Don't self-eliminate. You have to believe that the answer is yes from day one. And you have to that has to be your going-in assumption, and you have to do everything to make it a reality from there. The Saints. And the Tigers. But the Saints. Not this year, though, man. We're going to talk about the football stuff. How many donations? A lot. A lot. Have you talked to Splint lately? Yes, I talked to him today. He sent me a Instagram video of one of his buddies flying the U-2, like from the pattern. It was pretty cool. What are your thoughts on the Artemis launch? You know, it's disappointing that it's taken as long as it has. You know, you look at the difference between commercial space travel and SpaceX and what they've been able to do, and Artemis and how long it has taken them to get to this point. And it's really amazing what SpaceX has done in the amount of time that they've done it. You guys are, I can't keep up with this. When the accident investigation report is available, I will consider doing a breakdown. My girlfriend's cousin, okay, just retired from the Air Force after 20 years, but she started her career in the Army Airborne. How do you do that? What is it? Oh, she started, oh, I got you. Okay, disregard. Okay, okay. So you're saying she started in Army, then she went to the Air Force. What is it like? It is a culture shock because everything is different. No one does things the same. You think same DOD, but it's just so much different. So it's a learning curve. If you had $1 billion, would you buy a private jet? Yes. Yeah, I'd get some kind of Gulfstream, and then I would also buy like a Su-30 or something. Do you watch college football? Yes. Go Tigers. Or go Tigers. Oh man, that's a tough one. What single mistake in the cockpit, be it of a jet or a race car, did you learn, grow most from? Single mistake? I don't know that there is one, because you're always learning and growing. Like there's no like this was a moment. I would say single event that I've grown the most from is the sortie in the T-38 a year ago, where I got inside my own head and got the heebie-jeebies and didn't want to go flying, got anxious, had instrument problems in the weather, got it landed, and then basically convinced myself that I wasn't worthy of flying again. And then overcoming that was probably the biggest single growth of my career, because, you know, I was at a point where I didn't want to fly. I didn't want to be a part of, I had, you know, when you fly, you're one with the aircraft, right? You know, it's like an Iron Man suit. You know, wherever you think is where the airplane goes. You're not two different entities. And I had gotten to the point where I desynced, and I was in the aircraft, and the aircraft was separate, and that was tough to overcome, because once your mind is the most powerful thing ever. Like that is, once you start getting inside your own head, very tough to overcome. And so learning that and learning to deal with the negative thoughts and learning to kind of enjoy it again was tough. And you know, it's an ongoing battle. It's an ongoing process. I think mental health is the most important thing we never talk about. So, you know, I really think that was probably the single biggest point in my career, because, you know, it taught me that you're not invincible, but you're also not, you know, just because you have a bad day and just because something cascades doesn't mean you can't turn it around and overcome it eventually. Supply chain side, I mean, not really. I mean, you always see in maintenance where parts aren't available and, you know, jets are grounded and stuff. But as a pilot, yeah, not typically. Favorite interviews, Splint's awesome. They're both awesome. Mace is still, if you're not following her, go. She's very inspirational. She's got a lot of cool stuff that she says, and a lot of stuff that I went through. Imposter theory, imposter syndrome, you know, self-doubts and overcoming that. She's, I mean, really cool chick. Ha! Dick Trickle was 48. There you go. So I got some years. I don't do baseball. And men in tights. Not so much. Thank you for the live Q&A. Well, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. Could you Hornets the same way you Tomcats? No. No way. Would you like to ever fly the F-14? Yeah. Yeah. Duh. Yes. Do you know any? I don't know any. I know you guys. That's it. If anybody contacts me, that's how I know them. New York Times says 40 billion to get the Artemis to this stage. Value, tough call. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Have you heard of Top Aces? I have. And if you're with the Top Aces, they have my resume. If you could make any movie about military aviation, what would it be? I would make something for the Air Force. You know, cool like Top Gun, but for the Air Force and not Iron Eagle. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Like if you guys know them, please. You know, I don't have all the contacts. I remember you talking about your T-38 experience. Do you get flashbacks? I don't get flashbacks, but I do get setbacks. Like I do have times where, you know, I get in my own head and I wonder if it ever would happen again. Or if it would happen in another situation. That's a bad feeling. You know, that's a feeling you don't want to ever have happen again. And so, yeah, I mean, it's something that's always in the back of your mind, but, you know, when you have the tools to deal with it, you deal with it. Really enjoy your Moveroons movies, videos, any new films you're planning. Well, in the last mailbag, I got these videos. There's Firefox is somewhere over here. So, yeah, I need to do that. Gawky's the GOAT? Of all fighter pilots? Come on. Gonky? Whenever Gonky gets his stuff together, we're going to do another Hornet V Viper. So that's coming too. I guess I'm just not going to read emails today. We'll do that next time. You strap yourself into the aircraft becoming one. You do. And when that desinks, it's a whole different thing. Are there different sections of the Reserve Air Force, like active reserve, passive reserve? So there's different categories of the Air Force of reserves. There's like Cat A through D or E. So there's points with pay drilling. You can be an. Let me try to simplify it without getting into the personnel creep. You can be a full-timer, AGR, so active guard reserve, you're on orders. You can be an air reserve technician where you're a GS employee. You can be a TR, which the guard equivalent of that is a drill status guardsman, a DSG. So TRs are part-timer, but part-time is a misnomer. It's not 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. You're flying to make the Ready Aircrew program, your RAP. So you still have to, it's usually, depending on the mission and the aircraft, anywhere from, 6 to 9 days a month. And then there are other positions like IMAs, which are reservists that are kind of augmenting active duty, and they kind of choose your own adventure. You show up whenever you're needed. So it's a little bit less of a requirement, a little bit more flexible. Those are very tough to get. And then there's the points no pay reservists like CAPRAP, which is Civil Air Patrol, and the Academy, the admissions liaison officer for the Air Force Academy. And then there's like a selective service one. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but there are different. If Mover flew helicopters in the Air Force, his call name would be Hover. Why couldn't I just still be Mover? Would you build a Z06 engine? I wouldn't trust a Z06 engine that I built. That's got to be some pretty tight tolerances for flat plane crank. Is the Air Force pilot to NASA test pilot path tough? Yes. You got to have a STEM degree, so some kind of math, technology, science, engineering, etc. I don't have that. I got a business law degree, so I'd have to go get a master's, and that's not going to happen. Yeah, technical degree. Answered it. Gonky is the Robin Olds of fighter pilots. Boy, Gonky's paying y'all off is what's happened here. I'm 37 and looking for a career change. Any advice when you spent most of your life in one field? Do it. Just do it. Like I just said about the make them tell you no, but step by step. Find your new career and take it one step at a time until you get to your goal. You don't take one big bite. You take little small bites at the apple. What's your sci-fi book status? 20 chapters so far. Let's do Remover Ruins cop movies. There's just so many of them. And it's tough. The problem with the cop thing is, like, some of it's agency specific. Like, I know some agencies are like phonetic alphabet. Like, Adam, Boy, Tom. Like, I hate the phonetic alphabet that some agencies use. Like, my agency luckily uses the military one, the standard one. But when I hear, like, Adam, Boy, Charles, Apple, I'm like, come on, man. No. But some of it's policy. Like, I don't know. I watched one with Harvey Dent. Can he be trusted? And, like, I didn't know, where was his unit? The whole time he's just on foot in some random city. Like, do they not give him a patrol unit at all? Which I'm sure is just specific to that agency. But then he started commandeering vehicles, and that's where they lost me. What kind of an attack feature? They would need an ESA, and it would need some level of, electronic attack and stealth. It feels like that when I'm driving 500 miles a day, and you have to just learn to deal with it. It's one of those deals. I have not invested in any cryptocurrencies. I have not met any of the 160th folks. I do ponder those things because they are badass, and I am not badass in my little R44, and I would not try it in my little R44. Does flying fighter jets ever get old? It's like anything else. Yeah, some days you'll be like, man, you know, today's not my day. I don't want to do this today. And then some days you're like, I can't believe I get paid for this. It's the greatest job on earth. You know, everything's got its ups and downs. All right, here we go. If USAF showed up and said, you're back in, but you have to fly heavies. Well, I'm not out. So, but if honestly, heavies, I don't know. It will be great to your opinion on the LCA Tejas aircraft. Okay, I don't know anything about that one. Putting this out there, moreover, I think it's good you continue to do AIB videos because the way you present them, explain them as public service. Yeah, and there's a time for it. You know, that's the thing it's just timing. You know, I think waiting until all the evidence and facts and everything is there versus trying to be first, you know, that's just my thing. It's always been my thing. How good is the F-16? Awesome. The Tahoe. Favorite police car is always the Tahoe. The Tahoe's great. It's got room. I mean, it's not fast, but I mean, when you're wearing all this stuff, it's nice getting in and out of a Tahoe versus a car. Wombat. Wait, is that Wombat? That's not Wombat. That's somebody with a Matson name, though, just like Wombat. Interesting. Wombat's cousin. When John Boyd was a kid, he always wanted to grow up and be like Gonky. You guys are awesome. Oh, Gonky. How is Sniper? Sniper's good. He's walking. He's recovering. He's at his grandma's house. We're getting some interesting questions about Wombat, though. Wombat is the best Mustang driver I have ever met. Is this like when Elon Musk took over Twitter and people are like impersonating? Flying fighters probably gets old when you're ferrying an F-16 across the pond in a tight cockpit. Yeah, I mean that too, but I mean just in general, you know, I think people burn out in anything. I mean, you do one thing for so many years, it wears on you. Casmo, what are all these celebrities here today? Do you hum Highway to the Danger Zone when you fly? No, I do the Nick Cage I Am the Greatest and show up with a pocket full of quarters. Try flying in a C-141. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Casmo. Oh, Margot, does she actually still live in Australia? All right. Let's do a couple of these. This one comes from Christopher. Have you ever thought about using DCS, Apache Eagle, Raptor, Super Hornet, and missions for videos? Yes, I've done that before. Michael says, hi, randomly found your video, 25 things airline pilots don't want you to know. Boy, that's a blast from the past. Would like to ask a question. I'm an aviation fan, hoping one day to get my own private pilot's license, but it's so expensive just as a hobby. I do not fly often, but I'm curious. Is there a way to listen to ATC communication by plane that I'm sitting in? It used to be. You used to be able to plug into the thing on the arm, but I don't think you can anymore. So no, probably not. Like from the roll from takeoff and approach and landing, I know there's websites and apps to listen to it online, but usually I need to have phone in airplane mode, which means no internet. Is there another way to listen to my pilot talking to the tower, which you think is the easiest solution and a curiosity? I don't think you can anymore. I don't think that's a thing. So really, and you're not missing much, let's be honest. So the biggest thing you do if you want to learn how to do this is go get your private pilot's license. Maybe try Microsoft Flight Sim with VATSIM or something and learn how to talk. Google it. But, you know, yeah. Hello, my name is Christian Taylor. I'm getting ready to apply to the Guard Reserves to fly fighters once I graduate college. I'm going to get my PPL and have a solid GPA. Is there anything else I can do to make myself more competitive? Yes, number one, do your homework. And number two, scores, extracurricular activities, volunteer, all that stuff. Channel's awesome. Has always been inspiring to me. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Back to this. Nope. Yep. If I could get one, I would buy a 4090, but I have yet to be able to get one for that. How many generations of manned fighters do you think we'll have to look forward to? I think you're talking fighter generations, like 5th gen, 6th gen, or are you talking generations of people? I think there will be plenty of generations of people still flying fighters. I don't know how many generations of jets will be around. USB with an antenna, yeah, but then that's that whole, you're not supposed to do that on an airliner. That's probably not a good idea. Does ADSB? No, ADSB doesn't do comms. You just be knowing where everything is. I have not. Elon Musk for president won't happen without a constitutional change. Wait till the GPU power. I thought they fixed that. I'm sure I'd want to buy a lot of things, but insufficient funds. What do I conceal carry Glock 43X MOS with a HoloSun 507T? Yeah, it's just StreamYard, dude. Come on to the channel one day. We'll talk about it. I'll show you. We'll get you back on. You can help with the mover mailbag with Wombat. Wombat, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know you were around. And second, I'm just doing this because, I wanted to prep people that we're going to do some race cars this weekend. So don't be triggered when you see me live and I'm saying it's cold, because it's going to be cold. It's going to be 49 and raining. It's crazy. So we're going to have some race car content coming up. So deal with it. What? Why do I have to be the VP? I've got the bigger channel. Let's see here. There is a DCS debate on the F-16 Viper on whether it can have 3 Maverick. I don't know. Go get a Dash 34. That's outside of my. Yeah, Casmo, you're up, buddy. Next time we do this. Thanks for volunteering. Who's are some of the best fighter pilots to ever live? I mean, Robin Olds, Donkey, of course, T-Bear. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Mover, I'm a midshipman in ROTC and recently got my service assignment as a student naval aviator. Congratulations. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for your constant motivation. Me? It's been very much appreciated. Do it, man. Have fun. One step at a time. Make them tell you no. Yes, thank you, Brandon. That's what I meant. Wombat, why don't you... Are you Wombat? If you're Wombat, you should come out and watch me race this weekend. You can be here by tomorrow. You can fly. I pre-ordered a Cadillac Lyrique all-wheel drive. I agree with you. I'm angry. I'm still waiting while the Federal Reserve keeps raising interest rates. Yeah. Yes, and I even have... So I've got to do the review, which I filmed some of it today, for the ProFlight Puma X. Which I thought the Apache guy that sent me the Luas was actually giving me Luas, but it turns out I'm still going to have to map stuff, so. But yeah. It's -8 degrees in commie units. How much is that in freedom units? That sounds cold. Is there still a role for non-stealth fighters? Yes. Casmo, Kiowa Warrior, saved my butt in Afghanistan. That's awesome. I have a question. Good question. Aloha, Mover. Do you know of any pilots who perform CAS who've ever met the squads they support after the fact? Yes. In fact, Mr. Flores and the Apache, there's a whole documentary about it, and he met all the dudes. In fact, he even met the Afghan interpreter that They say that was a part of it too. And there's an awesome documentary about that. I don't know if it's still on thing. Well, Wombat, if it's you, you're using your. I can't. You're supposed to be T.R. Matson, not your actual name. You're doxing yourself, sir. Are you a Formula 1 or Le Mans? IMSA, Corvette, Team Corvette over F1 for sure. Oh, 17 and a half. No. Oh, I think it's supposed to be like 30 or 29 tomorrow, and I'm ready to just crawl up and die. Become an Air Force pilot if you've had an eye problem in the past, but now you made an operation, it's gone. It depends. I can maybe talk to a flight doc for you if you email me, and I can ask the question, but make them tell you no. That's all you can do. Bomb truck concept, I think the AMRAAM truck concept was pretty cool. You know, where you had the B1 Boner, B1R, with all the AMRAAMs in the back. I don't know what that means. No. Oh, the land of Margot. Hey, Mover, greetings from Perth, Australia. Keep up the amazing content. Give the doggos pats for me, please. Yes. Did you know Gonky has his ATP helicopter? No, he doesn't. This Gonky's becoming the Chuck Norris. Mover runs Ford versus Ferrari. I love that movie. I really did. I enjoyed it very much. Never. Hey, Mover, I am traveling to Louisiana. I would avoid New Orleans and Baton Rouge and Shreveport. For sure. Just completely avoid. There we go. I meet all the guys I've supported at all my movie and book screenings. It's awesome and therapeutic for all. Just talking about you, man. It's awesome. So the next book I'm writing is a sci-fi book. I'm 20 chapters in. Was the Super Hornet shooting down the Syrian Su-22 in 2017 the last air-to-air kill in U.S. history? Yeah, I think so, other than some UAVs. Above the Best is the film, and South of Heaven is his book, and I recommend both of them. Safety third? No, safety is always first. Will you come fly with us at Hancock's Dennis Airport? Maybe. Depends on timing and everything else. Remember an 80s concept, the 747s filled with AMRAAMs. Boy, that would be interesting. You just run out. You have to build them. I mean, you'd run out at some point. Do you have experience in air combat? Yeah. So I fought the Eagle in the Viper, and I fought the Eagle in the Hornet, and it's the most perplexing thing because there's no transitive property here. When I was flying the F-16, I fought the Hornet, like Canadian Hornets, Super Hornets, all that. It was always easy. Like Block 30 Big Mouth, had no problem. I fought an Eagle once. Uh-oh. Got doggy barking. I fought an Eagle once, and it was, they kept doing the bathtub thing, and we were just neutral the whole time. And then I switched to the Hornet. Never got to fight the Viper, but I got to fight the Eagle, and it was easy. So I don't know. Maybe I just got better. Have you seen the video of a Russian plane in a dogfight with the Ukrainian fighters in Ukraine? Boy, that's a lot of Ukraine. No, I have not. Wanting to write book on my deployment to Afghanistan as a reservist. Any suggestions on how to make it, not to make it full military? Well, I'd focus on you. Focus on the human aspect, you know. But the biggest thing is just write. Get something on paper. What are you racing tomorrow? It'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise. But we're going to do a video. We're going to go live. Oh, and I'll post either on the community page or my Facebook page Champ Car has, I think. I mean, I know they have a YouTube channel where they do live coverage of the races. I don't know if they're doing New Orleans, but if they do, I'll post the link to where you can watch it live, like, you know, pretending like it's color commentary and all that stuff. I have actual combat experience, yes, and an air medal. Why did you get rid of that? There's a whole video on it. Go watch it. There's a whole thing about the Hellcat Durango. I love the Yukon, by the way. Does Star Wars Canyon even buy Red Flag? No, we never did anything with Star Wars Canyon for Red Flag. Yeah. What do you think about electrification? Yeah. This is the whole electric thing. Like, I don't understand the push for it. I don't. I like tech, but I like tech with a, you know, a purpose. You know, I like the big jet fuel burning jet engines, or turbine, high bypass turbofan. Yeah, I would say the Tomcat would win, depending on if it's Tom Cruise flying or not. Does Twitch chat show up on the main screen? Yes. It's good to see you too, John. Is it awesome? Well, I appreciate it. And this is a good cause. It's a veteran group. It's a charity group. And what they do, Battle Scar Motorsports, is, and I've done a video on this, they basically give veterans the opportunity to do something to get back into that whole team mentality, stuff that they're used to in the military, stuff, you know, if they're struggling, gives them a purpose again. And racing is just one of those things that does that and brings people together. So, very awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't, you're not going to sell me on that one. Okay. I think we've done enough damage for one day. Wait. Ferrari, Porsche, Lamborghini, Corvette, or Mustang? Which should you choose? No price. I'm a Corvette guy. Although I do like the GT4. I've never taken my dogs flying. I wanted to before the helicopter broke. I was going to take Luna, and there's still a possibility. In fact, I bought the little headphones, but they broke the helicopter, so. Anyway. All right. Yep, a lot of... They do. And I don't know how much we'll stream or if I'll stream, but we'll see. What's my height? 6'1", according to the Navy, when they did the anthropometrics. Cool. Questions? In a dogfight with two completely different planes, did you think that the pilot really makes a difference? Hell yeah. 1,000%. Yes. Yes. All day long, yes. Do you salute with a helmet on? Well, if you have a helmet on, you're probably on a flight line, which is no hat, no salute area. But if you're in the Navy, you're wearing your helmet. So if the plane captain salutes you, you're going to salute back. So yes. This A10 thing. Yeah, I mean, we should always be developing new stuff. But the A10 is awesome. These are some random questions. Now you guys got me hooked. Are older fighter pilots better than younger? I wouldn't say better. I mean, we're just more experienced. You know, the scene in Top Gun Maverick where he beats everybody is real, because you'll always have the one or two guys that are in a squadron that have been there forever and just have done this so many times, and they're so good at it that you call it old man BFM, because they just figure out to do things with the jet that you never thought possible. What is with you and the number 69? I'm a fighter pilot. Next question. Is there a hand signal to eject? Yeah, face curtain. 3 face curtains. At least that's what we brief the passengers. By any chance, have you had any funny things that happened to you during air refueling? I'd have to think about that. Do tankers fly at different speeds for different loadout weights for the same airframe? I mean, you can ask them to change. I mean, like, I don't know about every airframe. I mean, they do have different refueling speeds, but I don't remember, like, I don't remember them changing the speed for us in the F-16 unless we ask them to. Usually it was, I think, 310 knots. So, anyway. Cool. Well, let's shut this down. Please check out the racing stuff. Don't let it just be one of those videos that nobody watches, because it's awesome. It's fun stuff, and it's for a good cause. But I'll hang out with you guys on the track, so from my phone, so it won't be as polished as this is not polished. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.